Good morning. So I've got a video created here for the practice test or the review that we worked on yesterday in class. Your assignment is just to check over, make sure you understand each of the solutions, and if you missed it, that you're making corrections on your end. So for the first one, we had the balanced hanger. We're told that a triangle weighs 2.5 pounds and a circle weighs 3. We're asked what the mass of the square is. So it's already balanced. So now I'm going to start canceling out items that are both on the left and the right. So I've got two circles on both sides. I have one triangle at least on each side, and I can also cancel out the two squares from each side. So that's going to leave me with two squares and a triangle on the left and a circle on the right. So again, it's two squares and a triangle and then one circle that I was not able to cancel out. So we know that the circle weighs 3. We know that the triangle weighs 2.5. So that means that on the left side, 2.5 plus something needs to equal the 3. Well, 2.5 plus 0.5 equals 3. So that means that the two squares must equal a half together. And if they both equal 1/2 together, then that means individually they would weigh a quarter. That's 1/2 divided by 2. So the mass of a square is 0.25 pounds. Solving equations. So for the first equation, the easiest thing to do is probably to cancel the fractions. I noticed yesterday several of you using a calculator, and that's fine. You just have to be careful on the right hand side because you end up with thirds. But if we're going to clear fractions, remember that we use the denominator to get rid of the fraction. So they're not both a 9. I have to multiply both sides by something that they'll both go into, and so that is 9. So I'm going to multiply the left and the right side by 9. When I multiply the left side by 9, the 9's cancel, and I'm just left with 2m minus 16. And I don't even need the parentheses anymore. On the left-hand side, the 3 cancels out with the 9, but it leaves a 3 in its place. So now I have 3 times the quantity of 2m plus 4. So on the left-hand side, we need to distribute. And now I'm going to subtract 2m over onto the right. That leaves me with negative 16 equals 4m plus 12. And subtract 12 back over to the left. Negative 16 and a minus 12 is negative 28. Divide both sides by 4, and m equals negative 7. Number 2, the second one here, we can distribute. So you get negative 4r minus 8 equals 8 minus 8r. So I'm going to add 8r to both sides. Remember, I like to move the variable first. You may have done it differently. You can still get the same answer. So now I add 8. 4r equals 16. Divide by 4, and r equals 4. On the last one, I do need to distribute. And you kind of have to be careful here. Remember, this is like having a negative 1 out in front of the parentheses. We are going to distribute that because the signs are going to change. So 60 plus 24y, 4y, and then we end up with minus 6 plus 9y. I have like terms on the right that I need to combine. So 4y plus 9y is 13y. I'm going to subtract 13y over to the left. Remember that your steps to solving this, again, could be different, but as long as we end up with the same answer, then we're fine. So 24 minus 13 is 11. I'm going to subtract 60 to get the variable by itself now. Divide by 11, and we get y equals negative 6. Next question, we're told that a farm has chickens and cows. All the cows have 4 legs, all the chickens have 2 legs. Altogether, there are 82 chicken and cow legs on the farm. Complete the table to show possible combinations of chickens and cows to get a total of 82 legs. So, you probably used a calculator for this, which is fine. I'm going to talk through most of it. So if we have 35 chickens, 35 times 2 legs apiece would be 70 legs. Again, there are 82 total, so that means 82 minus 70 is 12. So I have 12 legs left over. Cows have 4 legs, so we would do 12 divided by 4 to get 3 cows. We have 7 chickens, 2 legs each, that's 14. 82 minus 14 is 68. So now we have 68 divided by 4. Let's see, 60 divided by 4 is 15, so it's 8, 17. We have to work the other way this time. We have 10 cows with 4 legs each, that's 40 legs. 82 total legs minus 40 legs is 42 legs. And then we do 42 divided by 2 to get 21 chickens. I have 19 chickens in the next row. Times 2, that's 38. (84 minus 38 is 46. So then we have 46. Oh, it's 82. Whoops. So that's going to be 44. So 44 divided by 4 is 11. The last one, again on the cows, we have 5 cows times 4 legs, that's 20 cows. 82 minus 20 is 62. So 62 divided by 2 is 31. And I don't know if anyone heard in class, but students were noticing that these questions did come from homework. I passed all of that back yesterday, so if you're able to find where you did these problems, you can maybe see how you worked them out. Then the next question is a little bit trickier without the graph. There was a graph in the homework that showed combinations of chickens and cows that added up to 30. Because that's what we have to do now. We need 30 chickens and cows total, and we need 82 legs. If we look in our table, it doesn't, those combinations aren't there. 35 plus 3 is 38. 7 plus 17, we have 24. Here we have 31, so this is close. 19 and 11, oh, there it is. 19 plus 11 is 30. And we have 31 and 5, that makes 36. So the combination of 19 chickens and 11 cows is what will give us 30 chickens and cows. If you add that up, you get 30, and 82 legs. We know it's 82 legs because that's how we got 11, was by working backwards from 82. So the graph, we have a graph of one equation of a system, and we have to do 3 different things. So letter A says write a second equation for the system so that it has infinitely many. Remember, infinitely many solutions will be the same line. So the first thing I need to do is write the equation for this line. So if I look at finding the slope, it's down 3 over 4 in the negative direction. And our y-intercept is at positive 4. So in order to have infinitely many solutions, we would have the exact same equation. For no solution, and it has to go through 0, 1. So here's 0, 1. If it's no solution, that means it has the same slope, so it's down 3 over 4. You are not asked to draw this line, but you can. So that graph again has the same slope, but the y-intercept here was at positive 1. Letter C wants an equation, and I'm going to change the color here. Letter C wants an equation that goes through 0, 2 and has one solution at 4, 1. That means that our line needs to also go through 4, 1. So if I count for the slope, I'm going down 1 and over 4. I can go up 1 and over 4. Again, it's not a line you have to draw, but for some of you, drawing the line might make it easier to write the equation. So we have y equals negative 1/4 x, because we went down 1 over 4, plus 2. Create a second equation so the system has no solutions. I'm going to switch back to red. So remember, with no solutions, the slope is the same. But the b, or the y-intercept, is not. So basically for this equation, you could say anything else. As long as you say 3/4 x, you can put any other number back here, plus or minus, except -4. It's the only thing you can't do. So I'm going to do plus 8. So remember, you can put anything in the back except -4. Number 7, we're told that the solution to a system is 5, negative 19. Remember, what does that mean, the solution? That means that's where the two lines intersect, is at 5, negative 19. Choose two equations that might make up the system. So that means the two equations, this ordered pair has to fit in there. So we just start checking. If I put negative 19 in for y, and then I write negative 3 times 5 minus 6, I get negative 15 minus 6. That does not equal negative 19, so it's not A. Negative 15 minus 6 is negative 21. Should have gone one step further here. Checking equation B. Again, you're plugging in negative 19 for y and 5 for x. So we get 10 minus 23. 10 minus 23 is negative 13. That does not equal negative 19, so it's not letter B. Check C. Negative 19, negative 7 times 5 plus 16. So it's negative 35 plus 16. And that is negative 19. So there's one equation. Letter D, negative 19 equals 5 minus 17. Again, all I'm doing is plugging in the 5. Whoops, didn't want to do that. Plugging in the 5 for x and the negative 19 for y. So here we get negative 19 equals negative 12. That's not true. It's not letter D, so it must be letter E, but it is a good idea to go ahead and check. So negative 19 equals negative 2 times 5 minus 9. That's negative 10 minus 9. So negative 19 equals negative 19. And that one does work. So that solution would be equations C and E. Finally, you're asked to solve the system, and we do that by graphing. So we're going to graph both lines on the coordinate plane and find where they intersect. So starting with the first equation on number 8, and I went ahead and changed them to how I had them yesterday on the board. We're going to start at 0, and I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this graph. And we're going to start at 0, and our slope is 6, so we're going up 6 over 1, down 6 over 1. Oops, I went over 2. There's a row of dots right there. And then the second equation was y equals negative 4x plus 7, so we're going to start here. We're going down 4 over 1. And yesterday several of you mentioned that these do intersect, but not at a very nice point. So on your test tomorrow, your equations do intersect at nice places, so we don't have to worry about what is that ordered pair. So on this one, just as long as you have them graphed correctly, maybe make a little dot there or circle it, that's where they intersect. Here we have 2/3 x minus 3 and negative 1/3 x. So for 2/3 x minus 3, we're starting down at negative 3. We're going up 2 over 3, or down 2 over 3. That's the positive slope direction. Remember, we want to go all the way through the graph. And then we also have negative 1/3 x. Remember, again, back here there's a plus 0, so we start at the origin. Down 1 over 3, or we can go up and to the left. But you can see we've already found where it intersected. So it intersects here, and then you want to label that point as 3, negative 1. So that's the review for the test. We will take the test when we return to school tomorrow, and yeah, hopefully tomorrow. We will take this test when we return to school. If you have any questions, go ahead and send me an email. The other thing you should work on that can help with your studying would be homework corrections from everything I passed back yesterday. And if you have questions on that, just let me know what worksheet that you're working on and a problem number, and I can help.